and welcome to another episode. This one's fairly quick. Well, I think almost on all days, I think I've mentioned this earlier as well, that almost on all days I have something or the other to rant about. I just don't have the time to record it. And this has not been something new. I've been feeling like this for quite some time. I started journaling, then I couldn't journal. I started just letting my thoughts out in a empty space. Even that wasn't possible, and I also realized that's not helping me. So my dad's a schizophrenic, and he talks a lot to himself. And every time I read about these things, it seems like talking to yourself often is not something which is considered good. At least for me, I feel that because I've seen him do this so often and I know that he is not in the right state of mind, to me, it doesn't help and it just like brings me down a lot. So that's that. So then I finally came with the idea that whenever it's possible, I'll give like some 20-30 minutes and do these rant episodes. Today, I'm going to talk about something which is a carry forward of yesterday's episode. So, remember when I told you guys that I'm contemplating to quit my job and do or take care of my daughter full time for time being. So basically, I'll tell you how the idea came to my mind. I thought because it was getting too much. First, I didn't have time with my daughter, like just me and my daughter. That did not happen. Um, 6 months, I was still recovering. After that, I had to resume work. Again, in that age of hers, it was necessary for me to, let her be with her grandparents for small periods of time so that she bonds well with them and then focus on work, which I did. And then ever since it's just work and her and family and all of that. Her birthday, I have to move here. I cannot. So let me give you another detail. So I got 6 months of maternity. I also extended it for another month. So basically 7 months of maternity. And then I had 6 months of work from home. And now I'm supposed to be working from office. But it's not a mandate that I have to be at office for 9 hours. I can split my day. I should be in office for reasonable amount of hours. So now what I do is I come to office for 5 hours and then I do my work at home. Now we are also in a different city right now. We are in a metro city, Hyderabad. Oh, again, it's not classified metro, but it qualifies all the um, junctures to be a metro. So now that we are here, and my entire family, so my husband and his parents, moved here because of me and the fact that they wanted to help us take care of the baby. Okay. Now, what's happening is it's not just limited to these things. It's not that they are able to take care of the baby fully. My baby is lagging behind on certain tasks and activities because for them it's like a responsibility that, oh, I have to make sure that nothing happens to the baby or, like nothing goes wrong. And so they also do not focus on teaching her a lot of life skills, which is wrong on their part. I have given them this understanding that so there are times when my daughter got hurt because of my mother-in-law. I would still not say because I would say when she was around them. Okay, but then my reaction has always been that she is a kid. She is going to go through all of these things, and that doesn't mean that we blame each other. Just be calm and help her come out of that issue. If she's gotten hurt, help her feel better soon, right? Rather than, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, I did this, oh, you did this, you should have been careful and all of that. It can't work like that. Okay, but now she's not somebody who thinks like this, because if she was in my place, she would have blamed the other person, that because of that person this is what has happened. So there's this huge difference. There's this thing. So right now, my daughter is 15 months old, and by this time, she should have been potty trained. She is not. When I say she is not, she is now giving me signals, but she's not still in the capacity where, she goes to the loo by herself or ready to go there. I mean, again, this was delayed because until my daughter was 14 months old, we were keeping her in diaper the entire time, like the majority of time. Whenever I'm not around, my daughter is going to be in diaper. And by that age, I had started taking. So usually, you keep the kid diaper free in the nights only when you are confident of keeping the kid diaper free in the day. But then I started with that because I'm like, I will at least have to take care of this problem, right? She cannot always be wearing diapers. She has to start telling us. And that will only happen when she stays diaper free in underwears and basically cotton clothes, and then she realizes that she's feeling icky or whatnot. Now, this one time, what happened is they forgot to check that my daughter had pooped. And by the time I had checked, the poop was dry. And so I washed her, and when I was washing her, she was crying, but I just had just a little discomfort. Later that day, like within 2 3 hours, I realized that there's something wrong, and then when we saw it was a very, very, very bad diaper rash. Like she has not had that kind of a diaper rash so far. Even when she was less than 3 months old, and um, I wasn't in a situation where I could have taken care of her fully, because I was also recovering from C-section. Um, Even then, she has not had that kind of situation. And look at this, the two full grown people, full grown adults, taking care of a 14-month baby, and they cannot even, make sure of this. And so, my mother in law has this saying that, लड़का नहीं कर सकता या जेंट्स नहीं कर सकते, ये कुछ चीज़ें लड़कियां ही कर सकती हैं या हम लेडीज ही समझते हैं. भाई, वेयर वर यू व्हेन ऑल ऑफ दिस वाज हैपनिंग? व्हाई वर यू नॉट एबल टू रिमाइंड योर हस्बैंड? बिकॉज सो शी हैज़ हैड सम हेल्थ इश्यूज बिकॉज ऑफ विच शी कैन नॉट रियली वर्क फुल्ली. So I think I can say that she is as good as she can talk. She can handle things through her words, through her tongue, I must say. But other than that, she can't do much. Okay, so it's okay if your husband's in charge, but you can remind him, right? This is the same issue for her water intake also. Now that I have said these things so many times, they make sure that they are making her eat fruits. And that's very good. Like, finally. Because again, ultimately, it's all about my daughter's well being, right? So at least that's happening. I'm still not sure about water intake. Another thing, so I'm still breastfeeding her, but she has to gradually start taking other milk, right? So I started with, so I used to make these dry fruit laddus for her. It's basically a powder. Uh, so I started mixing a little bit of milk in that and gave it to her. So again, these things have to happen gradually. So that doesn't mean today the quantity that you have used, just tomorrow you increase the quantity. No, with kids it has to be very gradual. So by a week's time is when you double the quantity, or like one third increase, something like that. Now I don't know what happened, and then there were these 2 days when I saw that she's telling her husband, as in my father-in-law, that please add so much of milk and just this much of powder in it. But then, of course, now my daughter's not getting the taste of that powder that I've made, and so she's not liking this concoction. And milk has a very bad smell. Not everybody enjoys it. So that's the whole point. First, you need to cover that smell, and then you also need to add something tasteful so that kids like it. The taste of milk is still okay, but then when you're introducing it, you can add something to make sure that this introduction goes successful. I don't know how. I mean, I don't want to use certain words, but then basically that trail is not happening. Now I made another mix of basically a milk powder for my daughter, which, when I say milk powder, it's a powder to enhance the taste of milk. It doesn't have milk mixed in it. I am trying to avoid sugar for her, sugar, jaggery, juices and things like that. Just natural sources of sugar with dry fruits and all of that. Okay, so I made this one powder. We discussed about it, right? I made this on weekend. And I think somewhere we missed. So I think yesterday or day before yesterday, when I was starting for work, I guess, or sometime in the night, I think, I told my mother-in-law was in the kitchen. I was also there. I told her that, Mama, this is the milk powder for Cherry, so you can mix and give it to her. And her reaction was, yeah, 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 we will do this. We do this anyway. We will do this. Yeah, yeah, milk we have to start for her and all that. अभी तक वो पाउडर टच भी नहीं हुआ है. Now, why I am talking about these things is because, so I know as a mother who is in a state where she can take care of her kids' needs, like these, tiny needs that will arise every now and then. Right now, I don't care if my house is clean, if the clothes are washed. Her clothes should be washed. Places where she goes should be clean. But otherwise, I don't care about anything else. All I care about is my daughter's well being. In this age, there are certain activities that she should be doing, which she is slightly late at. Well, not according to my mother in law, because for her, only talking is very important. And my daughter talks really well. So, and she just keeps on boasting on that. And so, this one day, I told her, I confronted her that, Mama, I'm sorry, but there are a lot of other things also that kids this age do, and our daughter is not doing it. And to that, her answer was, I've seen a lot of kids, and it's okay. Not many kids do even this. And obviously, I don't have a counter to that, but I kept saying that I'm her mother. I cannot, if there is something which in my capacity I can change, I would obviously focus on that. If I can't do that, then obviously I'll let it go. But then I still feel that she's missing out on a lot of things, and she's like, it's okay, कोई बात नहीं, बच्चे सीख जाते हैं आगे पीछे. अरे भैया, अगर ये बात है तो फिर कंपेयर क्यों कर रहे हो बच्चे को कि भाई शी इज टॉकिंग अनदर किड्स आर नॉट टॉकिंग और शी इज वॉकिंग अनदर किड्स आर नॉट वॉकिंग. और वो वॉक भी इसीलिए कर पा रही है क्योंकि मैं उसके लिए एफर्ट्स करती थी. Otherwise, because she can't move, right? And it was very cold in our hometown. And my daughter is born in December. So, and we celebrated her first birthday in our hometown, and then we came back to Hyderabad. So, we like her floor time during the last quarter last year was really less, and because of which her walking was delayed a little bit. Otherwise, she had all the signs. By her first birthday, she would have started taking a few steps. But by the time she would just furniture cruise, again, it is okay for me because at least her muscles and her body is developing that way. So I am fine with that. I wasn't a mother who wants to force this on her, like on my daughter. But then what was happening? They were treating my in-laws were treating my daughter the same way that they did when she came to their house, which was when she was around 3 months. She didn't turn 3 months old. ये अलग ही स्यापा मेरी लाइफ का, इसके बारे में कभी और कंप्लेन करूंगी. But a 10-month, 11-month old baby does not need to be carried always. You can also definitely use the stroller, but then you can also make sure that the kid is walking sometimes, and you can sit at a place and let the kid be, let the kid do things on her own. But all of this was not happening. Anyway, my God, I just saw the timing, and these rants would continue. Let me come to the point of why the first thing today when I come to office is something that the first thing that I'm doing today when I came to office is recording this episode. So, I have basically announced that I am going to leave my job because I can clearly see that my daughter is not properly taken care of. First thing. Second thing, if I am to juggle between job and my kid, I am not getting the benefit of, uh, to be able to work well. So my husband leaves home because he has like a later shift. So my husband leaves home by 12:30. I leave home by 10:15. So for these next 2 hours, my husband's still around my daughter. Now from 12:30 to 5 p.m. is when 4:30 5 p.m. is when my in-laws have to take care of my daughter all alone. It is just a 4-hour window. Okay. When I go back, they are extremely tired. It seems my daughter has hung on them, and so they are hurting from places, this and that, and all of that. Okay. It's okay. I get it. I totally get it that at that age they can't be taking care of kids, and that's why they don't have, I mean, that's why people don't have kids at that age, right? They have kids a bit early. That's how nature has created you, right? So I don't blame them for that. It's okay. I know how challenging it would get, and it might have been. And so, as soon as I enter, my daughter, if she's up, she just comes on me, clings on to me, and it's fine. I most of the times I try that I'm drinking water from work, and then I go. Sometimes I also try to eat right before here, but like I don't always carry enough food, and I don't always have enough time to basically eat here. So I if I have to go to cafeteria, I need some time. But what I try to do is I fit in 9 hours of work in 5 hours. Obviously, that's not possible, and some work is left, and that's what I have to do when I go back home. Now they're complaining, complaining, complaining. So I don't tell them that take care of the baby and all of that. I try that I take care of the baby and I take care of my work, right? Now, I think because I'm not saying it, they're not getting the message. Now, leave about the fact that the baby is around me when I'm working. They are also coming and talking to me or the baby. They're not realizing the boundary. Sometimes, because my baby is in the room, on my work meetings, I do announce in beginning that my baby is around me. So if you hear some sounds, please ignore. I am here for the meeting. And because she's in the room, she may poop or she may run here and there, and I might have to hold her or stop her from doing something that she shouldn't be doing. So I don't put my headsets on. I keep the meeting on loudspeaker. And sometimes when I'm talking is when they're talking from behind. They're calling out my name. They're saying things. This is what she did today. And oh, this is not how things can work, ma'am and sir. God. Okay, I forgot what I was saying last. There's going to be a lot of editing. Anyway, so you know, so how my life looks like right now. I get up in the morning. I take some minutes to basically finally get up. But then I go to the loo, do my morning routine, which basically includes taking my thyroxine medication, brushing my teeth, peeing, taking a shower, come back out, get ready. Sometimes, because now our room is obviously closed, we stay in a 2 BHK apartment. It's not fit for a full family, but we are adjusting, which is again fine. My iron clothes are in a cupboard outside of our room, and so I need my husband's help to fetch me my clothes every morning because I can't pre-think this in the night. I don't have that much time in the night. I'll get to that part of the day as well. And so, and I don't want to step out because I'm just out of the shower. And my father-in-law might be out there, and I just don't want to step out like that. And I can't first step out, take my clothes, and then go for a shower because these days, so I'm taking office cab now, and I don't have time because office cabs usually arrive a little early, and they're going to be on time. If I'm coming by my own transport, say taking a cab or driving by myself, I will have that leeway because again for me unless there is a meeting which is basically a prior commitment that I have made in full awareness, I don't really have to report to a particular time in office. But then because of my baby, because I want to be back in a particular time, so I need to be at office in a particular time. It's like that. Basically, it's all on me, right? So yeah, so I don't have time. So my husband gets me clothes. Sometimes I don't even get time to put a sunscreen on. I'm just putting a moisturizer on my face. That too, I'm now trying to do that. Otherwise, sometimes I miss doing that as well. So many times I can't even comb my hair. I don't have that much time as well. Because say if my daughter gets up, she needs nursing. I water my plants. That's one thing that I diligently do. But then again, there are days when I miss that as well. But I know my plants would die without me, basically without me watering them. But yeah, this is just me giving myself some importance. Try to do that. I quickly pack up my lunch. Sometimes I don't even pack my lunch well because, like, just today I realized that I have not put lemon on my curry. Uh, it's a good thing that you consume that. And again, because um, after delivery, like, I'm still under recovery, so I need to be having my intake well. Now, everybody else who has not been through what I've been through is having their intake pretty well with their key and whatnot. For me, I have to pack my whole food, like my dinner, sorry, my lunch, have my breakfast as well. But most of the days, my husband helps me for that. Sometimes even to pack my lunch. But yeah, he does that for me. And then get on into the cab. I come to work. When I come to work, I feel a little relaxed. I sometimes I take green tea, but sometimes I take coffee. I poop on work timings. I record my audios here, like my podcast episodes here, and I also work. I find some time to have lunch. There's no proper network at home, so if in case there's somebody who needs my help or there's somebody that I want to check on, like my friends or my relatives, I call them from here because there's no proper network back at home, and also because my daughter is around, and I'm trying to keep her less engaged with the phone. I try to like not take a lot of calls back at home, only when it's absolutely needed. So I do that as well. I do my work, I have my lunch, and then I leave. Again in office cab, and it takes me some time to go back. I go back. I meet my daughter. Most of the time she's up by that time. Then she clings on to me. Then it's just she and I. It's our time. Once she settles a little bit is when I prepare for her dinner. I try to feed her dinner. Try to eat with her as well. In between, if I get time, I do my work. Earlier, what I was doing is I wasn't like directly going and sitting for work. I would just give these 2 hours for her, whatever she wants me to do, we'll do that. And then I'll start on my working. Sometimes I eat with her, sometimes I make her eat first and then I eat while working. Sometimes this takes a lot of time and gets delayed a lot. Sometimes I've also had my dinner at 9:30, 9:45 in the night. But yeah, I do that. Then again, I take her. I make sure that she sleeps in time. By the time we are all in space, like in the place to sleep, is when my husband gets free. He pings us that he's on his way. I wait for her. He comes back by 11:30, 12. We chat a little. Sometimes our daughter gets up, so we play with her again. We try to tire her out. And so by the time we sleep, it's 1:30. Sometimes it's 2:33 as well. Like just last night. I was up till 2. So this is my routine. Okay. Now, if in this routine, if someone can help me with certain tasks, it'll be amazing. But that doesn't happen. What really happens is in the morning, where's this masala? We can't find this masala in the morning. Are you guys okay with this sabzi? Do you guys want paratha for breakfast? Which paratha? Now, because I want them to help me, I mean, if there's so much questioning, I would do all of this by myself. But if because I want them to help me, sometimes I don't even express what I like or what I don't like. I just tell them it's okay. Like do whatever you want to do. I'll just eat. Take it. Now it's okay till here. What happens is, so my husband just joined his work last month. It is going to be a month tomorrow since he's started going to work. And for him, everybody gets on toes. Like those days when I'm at home and I see that people are now preparing for my husband to go to work, everybody gets on toes. Prepare his fruit, prepare his lunch box. All that. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want all of that help. But they do it. But for me, nobody does that. And see, that's where it's the problem. So we are adults and we can all do our stuff. But then when I see that there's this extra advantage for my husband, so today when I came back to office and I reached and I was just organizing my bag, like I come to office and I organize my bag and put some stuff in my locker. In that moment I realized, shit, I forgot to use lemon or squeeze lemon on my curry. And I feel so bad. I mean, I could have done this. I could have asked this. I could have asked my husband to do this. I also forgot. But here's the thing, most of the days there's nobody who's taking care of my lunchbox completely. I'm the one who's doing that. It is okay. My husband would also have to do that. But then I see this difference, and I mean, my parents made me independent. They made me capable of, doing all of these things by myself. But when I see something like this happening in the same household, it troubles me so much. And that's the thing. So today again, so first of all, I don't like touching feet of my in-laws every day because I don't do that to my parents. If it's a special occasion, definitely. This was an expectation that they had of me. Right now, what I do is whenever I'm stepping out of home for work, I do this. I'm just settling for something, basically. Let's put it that way. And I obviously go visit our temple area, like our in-house temple area, and then I head out. So today, when I was doing that, mother-in-law was still sitting and she has not completed her prayers. So when I did that, she was like, आरती ले ली क्या? पूजा भी नहीं हुई है, फिर आरती भगवान को नहीं दूंगी. My God, see, these are the things. I don't want these stupid things right when I'm stepping out for work. तो फिर now that's the limit. So that's the reason why now I don't want to work. Now, what's happening is there are all sorts of talks. So my husband's very supportive of this, and I know we can sail through. But my mother-in-law, she's overthinking things. She's overthinking expenses and whatnot, and she is, in a way, putting all of these thoughts to my husband, and he's getting tensed. Just yesterday, like last night, we had some conversation. I was talking to him for us to buy like a two-wheeler, and he told me, let's try to be watchful of what we buy and where we think to spend our money and not create a financial burden for ourselves. For last 9 months and even before that, like even when both of us were earning, I would never stop my husband from buying anything because I know and I think that he's responsible enough to take actions of what he's buying and then what he wants to eventually help anyone financially, right? He says these words to me. It's very difficult. I mean, he's not wrong, and I am also not going crazy. There are alternatives of us getting vehicle to help ourselves. Okay, but just the fact that he said this on day 3 of me saying that I'm going to quit, and yeah, he's supportive of it, is a reflection of how much when I leave home, how much of expense related talks these guys do. And here's the thing. So for all these 9 months, it was okay for me to be working and thinking about expenses and whatnot. Now that it's about him doing it, suddenly all hell goes loose. Why? You know, my mother-in-law was the only lady around me who used when I was pregnant, who used to say that a mother should be available for the kid for at least 5 years, but then 5 years is too big an age. At least for 3 years, we should be there. She was the only lady. Everybody, including my own mother, were of the thought that no, it's okay. People are able to manage things. Things can be done. So it's okay. You can continue working. And my mother-in-law is that lady who was working when she had my husband. My mom was not working, and when I was like 18 months old is when my mom joined work. So my mom was there for when I was a very little baby, and let's to be honest, my mom's the only person who's been keeping me track of keeping me on track with my daughter's milestones. That you should now at least try to take care of these things. You should now at least potty train her. You should do these tricks to potty train her, or you should make her eat things, and all of that. And even after that, she's the person who gave me the confidence that no, I can still work and manage the baby. And the fact that my in-laws are so supportive that they're going to come with us and help us take care of the baby. But it's not happening. I'm not able to manage all of this, and that's the point why I want to take a break from work. And I seriously, initially, I just wanted to take a break, but the way I'm looking at things, because I thought they will change, but they didn't. Right. So it's very clear they're not going to change. They want me to change. And how I can change is I can leave everything. I can leave my job, my full time paying job. I can be at home. I can take care of your food, my husband's food, my food, clean the house, wash the clothes, put them for drying, change bed sheets, bring groceries, wash groceries, in fact wash utensils. I can do all of that you guys take care of everything else. And अब इसमें भी उनको प्रॉब्लम है, अभी उनकी इतनी तबीयत खराब हो गई, उन्होंने इतना ओवर थिंक कर लिया कि कल उनका बीपी हाई हो गया, दे हैड टू टॉक बैक टू सम मेडिकल स्टोर इन back in our hometown and get some prescription for some medicine. I don't know what happened there, but it's like that. Day before yesterday, my husband didn't have lunch and went to work, and because the weather is really sucking here, I mean, I also don't want to have the regular food, but I don't have any other option. I mean, the way it was told to me by both, especially by my mother-in-law. My husband did tell me that I wasn't able to eat, so I didn't. I just had some fruits and left. And that was the day when he broke this news to my in-laws. The same day when I came back home, my mother-in-law delivers this to me in a way that she indirectly means that because these guys have had this serious discussion about me leaving the job and whatnot, is why his mood was ruined or his health was impacted and he wasn't able to eat food. What the fuck is this? Seriously. I wasn't this girl who. I've seen a lot of hardships in life and I feel that I can take care of things. And I can. But I cannot deal with bullshit. I cannot deal with things on loop. And I want to break free. And I don't think it's my responsibility to change how his parents think or how his mom thinks, especially because even my father in law has changed a lot from what he tells me about how he was growing up as a father and how he is right now as a grandfather. He has changed a lot. But my mother in law, she just doesn't want to change. Of course, I understand she's going through a lot of health issues. If she was well, she would have taken care of everything at home because that's how she was. She used to take care of everything at home and outside. And my husband wouldn't do anything, my father in law wouldn't do anything. And so, probably she's frustrated because of that, because she's not able to do anything. But that doesn't mean that she makes things hard on me. And anyway, that's all that I wanted to talk today. I have to work. I think I've been at work for over an hour now and I've still not started working. I have to go resume my work. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope if you guys are also stuck in a situation where you are contemplating what you should choose, I hope you get to have a right, well informed, and well balanced decision. Thank you so much for listening.